What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. It is Chelsea against Tottenham at Stamford Bridge, and we've got Carefree Lewis in the house to do a combined 11. Apart from football, bro, how you doing?
Not bad. Not bad. It's just football takes up way too much of my life, and now I just want this season over with.
Yeah, I mean, look, for you and us both, it probably is over. I guess the only kind of thing that we both want from this season is Arsenal not to win the league. I guess that's what it's come down to. That's what it's come down to.
You're going to get Europe at least.
Yeah,
we're not.
And we're looking like Europa League. Is there no possibility that you can sneak into the conference?
Oh, there's a possibility. There's been all season.
You probably don't even want it.
I've been screaming. No, I need it for the rotation.
Even conference.
If you're doing this youth project and everything, how's it meant to work with one game a week? So many youth players just sitting on the bench and rotting. So I'll take that, and just to also stat pad another European trophy, because I demand that trophy if we're in there. But
yeah,
I need
we don't talk about trophies on this channel.
But I need consistency to get there, even just the little bit to get into 7th. And my football club can't even do that. So I'm done believing. When you drop 4 points to the bottom 2 in the league, you get bodied by Sheffield United, one of the worst teams to step foot in the Premier League.
Burnley too.
10-man Burnley with no coach for 45 minutes. Yeah. You lot you get into a European place, and then I'll believe it. I'm not believing it no more.
Look, we're going to do another preview as well. We'll get into all the nitty gritty, but let's get into the combined 11. 4-3-3 formation, Spurs against Chelsea. I mean, we've done these so many times over the years, haven't we? And I feel like it's going to be a bit of a different vibe in this one.
Completely different squad now, I hear it. Plus, I'm going to be giving away so many positions this season, but...
We'll start off with the goalkeeper. Are you going to put through Sanchez or Petkovic?
Robert Sanchez has to be one of the maddest transfer decisions we have ever made. I remember seeing his smile after he signed the contract. I just seen it a few days ago. I thought, you must have been thanking the Lord, thanking whatever God you believe in, because how did you fraud a 7-year contract here when you
7
were Brian
years he's
Spurs?
on. Yeah. 7 years? Are you serious?
Yes, he's on one of them 7-year deals.
Oh my days.
So yeah, no to him. Petrovic, I mean, a month or two ago, I would have fought for him, but he's just looked so sloppy on the near post, and his distribution ain't great. So you can
Vicario?
have it. You can have
Vicario comes straight. What do you think of Vicario from what you've seen from this season? Because from corners, he has shown a vulnerability, big vulnerability. But I think all in all, shot stopping is top. Distribution, he's okay. I mean, I've been pretty pleased with him, to be fair.
Yeah, I've been impressed by him as well. When I saw him, I was like, who the hell is this brother? You just pulled up some random goalkeeper from Italy, fairs. No, really impressed. The distribution will get a little bit better from him, but the bread and butter, the shot stopping has been superb from him. The sweeping as well, especially because I remember the Tottenham Chelsea. Yep. He was keeping you guys in there for a good 20-25 minutes of the game. So, yeah, it was a good signing from you guys.
Vicario in goal, 1-0 Spurs. Right back, I'm going to put through Pedro Porro. Was it Gusto?
Yeah, I'm actually going to fight for Gusto this
time. Fighting for Gusto?
He's been one of the few players who's been completely consistent throughout the season. I think he's on 9 assists for us now. It's got to a point where for the first time in years, I'm like, Reece, take your time, man. You don't even have to come back this season. I know our depth's amazing. I know you'll walk right back into the team when you're fit. But for now, I don't need to risk you getting another injury, especially with the fact that this season's done now. I don't need to see you back. Just enjoy your holiday.
I rate Gusto. I really do. He's one of the players that I've seen from your team this season that's performed consistently throughout the season, 100%. But I think Pedro Porro, everything goes through him for us. He plays in, obviously, the inverted right-back slot. I think 7 assists this season, a goal as well. So I think they're on similar numbers in terms of goal contributions. But
I argue the same thing with Gusto, to be fair, because we're so right-side heavy.
He doesn't invert. It's a different style right-back, though, isn't it? He
He can underlap and overlap.
Yeah.
Because Palmer will sometimes take the underlapping position.
He's our primary playmaker, especially when Maddison's not playing well, which he isn't at the moment. And I think Pedro Porro, I believe he's got the ability to be one of the best right backs in the league if he's not already. That's how highly I rate him. And he's not playing that well of the few recent games in terms of an offensive capabilities, but defensively he's improved so much, and that was one of the key things that a lot of Spurs fans had worries about him last season, because he was getting open up time and time again last season. But this year he's really improved defensively, and he's still got that threat offensively as well. So I do think Porro's a better player than Malo Gusto.
Every argument you made for Porro, though, I could make the exact same thing for Gusto. The only thing I'd say is that I don't think our play just completely flows through him. It's more just him and Cole Palmer off the right-hand side. But I don't know with this one, because I'm dying on the Gusto hill.
Well, I was going to go to Sammy in the back, but he's a bit biased because he's a Chelsea fan as well. So we might have to flip a coin or something on this.
I say you just let me have the right back because I'm going to give you left back.
All right, you know what? Because I think this team is going to be so super Spurs heavy, I'll give you the right back. I'll give you the right back. Malagusto just about gets in, but it's not my beliefs. I think Pedro Porro's better. Left back, Destiny Udogie against Chilwell. Straight up, Destiny.
Not even any words to describe Ben Chilwell. The fact Cucurella's the one we're trying to sell and not him is a disgrace. Like, Chilwell, thank you for 2021. Injuries have killed you. You are not good enough. Your mentality isn't good enough. You're not good enough defensively. You're not good enough offensively. You can have the left back spot.
Destiny Udogie, he's come in this season. I think he's been one of the best left backs in the Premier League. The way he plays, physicality, the way he just bulldozes his way through the park, defensive ability, stood up to big wingers this year in terms of Mo Salah. Too. Very good ball carrier, and Bukayo Saka as well at the Emirates at the beginning of the season. I thought he dealt with him really well. So I think it's a no-brainer. This one, Destiny Udogie gets in. In terms of the centre back positions, are you putting through any centre backs for this team?
Just for heritage purpose, I'm going to push for Thiago Silva, but I don't think I'm going to get either of these centre-backs, I'll be real.
I think Coutinho Romero has massively improved this season alongside Mickey van der Ven, and Mickey van der Ven has been an absolute revelation for us. It's weird for me to sit here and say all these defenders for Spurs have been good because the amount of goals we've shipped this season, but I don't think it's been a problem with our defence. I think it's more the structure and the underperforming midfield
and I'll
players.
say the exact same thing for our defence as well. I want to see them with a new coach. But for this season, they've all been so inconsistent. I don't think I can sit and back any of them.
So we're going Kuti and Van der Ven straight up.
Might as well just take the pair. And to any Chelsea fans moaning in the comments, please remember we are mid-table. There's only so many battles I can make this season.
Well, I've never seen no fight in you before like this. There's no fight whatsoever. Mickey van der Ven and Coutinho Romero gets in the centre back. Man. The number 6 position, was that Caicedo?
Yeah. Caicedo's got to go in.
Caicedo against Bissouma, both ex-Brighton. I think Bissouma, at the start of the season, I would have died on that hill that Bissouma's 100% getting this team. But since those first 10 games of the season, 2 sending-offs, he's just dropped off a cliff. And I watched your game against Villa, and I haven't seen Bissouma put in a performance like Caicedo put in that day, probably since those first 10 games of the season. I thought he was brilliant that day. Yeah,
Caicedo's had a slow start for us, but the only thing that's really held him back this season is number 1, the structure, number 2, the price tag. People are going to expect so much of him because of that price tag, and I understand it, rivals will always do that. But he's been our best midfielder this season by a mile. Ignore all the media narratives saying that Gallagher has been, because he hasn't. It has been Caicedo. Caicedo has been amazing for us for the fact that he's had to play in a single pivot when he should be in a double pivot. He's had to cover so much ground by himself, and he's still managed to have a viable influence in the team, despite the fact that we have an absolute mess of a structure around him, and he doesn't get any rest. He's continued to just grow and grow into this Chelsea team. And I'm sure next season when we have a new coach, he's going to look even better and all those critics are going to be silenced.
All right, so we're going for Caicedo. I think Caicedo does sneak in there. Number 8 position, who are you going for? Gallagher?
It would probably have to be Enzo. I think Gallagher would go for the 10 position, but even then, it's Enzo's not had the greatest season. He has been playing with a hernia for most of the season. I think that's been the bigger problem as well. And the fact that we've played him game in and game out and loaned out other alternatives for that position over giving him the rest that he needed and letting him have to play with this price tag over his head is ridiculous to me. But I have to assess it from a performance-based analysis, and not really been good enough. He's been very underwhelming this season. I just say it's not really his fault for the most part. I think Enzo has been embarrassing this season. After winning the World Cup, the price tag he's come with, what he's shown week in, week out in a Chelsea shirt, I think he's been embarrassing. And the player I'm going to put forward is Pape Matar, who I think has been brilliant all season. And I think it's mad when you think about it, comparing Enzo, £100 million midfielder, to Pape Matar, who's pretty much like a youth player playing his first season this year. And I'm strongly arguing Pape Matar. I understand. If this was last season, I would have fought for Enzo, because people forget how good his performances were when he joined us. He was playing sensational football because he wasn't being asked to make shuttle runs. He wasn't being asked to play as a second striker or a left wing or being put into these stupid positions. We just have him sit deep, dictate play, because that's what he's brilliant at. We have him playing in a completely different role. We also have him playing on an injury and having him covering ground for 90 minutes, and we wonder why he can't do that and why he doesn't look athletic at all. That's why I understand where you're coming from. I don't even feel any type of way about it. And Sarr definitely gets into this 11 over him too. But I think he's been thrown out to dry for a lot of this season.
Fair play. Is he one, though, like you're looking to keep next season and looking
Yes.
to move on?
No. You have to keep him. One, I've seen more than enough from him, and I know more than enough about his ability to know it's the manager that's letting him down. That and the injury. Next season, whatever manager we get, you have to prioritise the midfield because you spent 250 million on that, and 250 plus if you throw in Lavia.
Yeah.
Whatever manager you bring
Forgot
in next.
about him.
Yeah, you and me too. But like, whatever manager you bring has to get the best out of the three of them. Because if you don't, then like, what's the point of all this money spent?
Yeah.
You just burnt it.
Facts. So Pape Matar gets in the number 8. In the number 10, you say Conor Gallagher
Yes.
against James Maddison.
Look, Gallagher's just my number 10, innit? I'm not really trying to fight for him. Like, he's a hard worker. Fair play to him. No technical ability or very limited technical
Say
ability.
technical ability. Look at that goal against Aston Villa. That was technical ability.
Yeah, but I mean, is he going to do that again? Especially on his weak foot? Not really. I think with Gallagher, he likes the game at Villa Park. He likes the game at Selhurst Park. But in terms of playing at the top level, not great enough on the ball. Not a great enough passer. Vision is awful. Decision making is awful. Finishing, like, yeah, we'll remember the goal in the second half. I remember his misses in the first half too. Like, he hasn't got any consistency in him, but he's a good worker. That's it. Like, you can't underestimate that aspect of his game. And I will say he's improved based off last season, but compare him to Maddison, like, even on form, I don't think I can make that argument.
Yeah. I mean, Maddison, again, like first 10 games of the season, he was probably one of the best players in the Premier League. The goal numbers he was producing, assist numbers he was producing, off the ball as well. He was dropping deep, winning the ball back countless amount of times. But since that injury, he was out for 3 months. He hasn't turned up since then.
What do you think? Do you think it's a bit of rustiness or?
I've been hearing from Leicester fans that apparently he does take a while to come back from injury. And I think that's what we're seeing now.
Then, you know what, it's just based on circumstance at least. It's not a real drop-off in the player.
But I think when you're talking about pure quality of a player, I think Maddison is clearly a better player than Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir with me. Don't worry about that.
Conor Gallagher, though, I'm going to ask you the same question with Enzo. You want to keep him this summer?
I wouldn't mind keeping him. Like, I think he's a good squad player to have. Like, if I'm talking about a team going for the title, I don't mind having Gallagher on my bench. But we need to sell players by June 30. If Cobham graduates are pure profit on the FFP books, you can get about 55 million for him. I know you guys are interested. I know Newcastle's interested. If we get the right bid, see ya. Like, you're not great.
I would like Conor Gallagher, but the one thing I wouldn't like is to help you out with your financial problems. So I prefer to pass on that then.
I think you guys are going to lowball us. We need to get rid of him. Forget June 30.
You know Daniel Levy,
Buy
the way he
Euros,
works.
Because Southgate won't allow any sort of negotiations during the Euros.
Is that
so
right?
we're going to try to get rid of him early. So it might even be less than that.
All right, so we've got a Tottenham heavy midfield. We got Maddison, we got Pape Sarr, and we got Caicedo behind. And the right wing, I'm going to put forward Brennan Johnson.
So, yeah, Cole Palmer's winning this one. Let's be real about it. That's the one place where I can have a bit of confidence.
Tell you what, Cole Palmer, what a season he's had. How many goal contributions is it?
I think he's at 38 now.
That's mad. It's mad.
And
He
in
has
this mess-
carried you.
Like, at 21 years of age, he's doing all of this too. Like, it's insane. Man City must be kicking themselves because they got rid of him and brought in Doku, and that didn't make any sense except maybe for the FFP books.
Well, you say they're kicking themselves, but they've just won the treble without him, and they're about to probably win the league again without
Might
him.
have had another treble with him.
Yeah, it's true.
Someone to take penalties.
It's true. It's true. It's true. But look, listen, Cole Palmer has been insane this season. Do you think that he should be winning Player of the Year?
I would really love it because I do think he genuinely deserves to be in the running for it too. But like, those sorts of conversations are way too title race heavy, and I think the only way he does it is if he wins the Playmaker award and the top goal scorer award. If he gets both of them, then you know what he does, especially in this Chelsea side. Then you have to give it to him. Forget all the title race talk. But if he only gets one, you're probably going to see it get given to someone from Arsenal or from Man City. And I understand it. But Young Player of the Year, no, there shouldn't be a single question about it. Because that should be more based on being a breakout star. Cole Palmer's been the breakout star this season,
Yeah.
no questions asked, so he should be taking that.
Yeah, the argument I've made is 100% Cole Palmer for Young Player of the Year, but I think Player of the Year should go Ollie Watkins this year. I think Ollie Watkins has been a different level. You know, he's up there in the goal scoring, he's up there with the assists, he's done it throughout the whole season
Good
as well.
conversion rate too, I hear it.
Unreal. I think those two need to be the two that are winning the awards. Forget the title race. It doesn't matter who wins the title race, because I don't think there's been a proper standout player for Man City that deserves it. And Arsenal as well. Like, I don't think any Arsenal or Man City player has been good as Cole Palmer or Ollie Watkins.
I could hear the argument, especially for Arsenal. Because Arsenal is just more because they have a very good system and they can just suffocate teams out of games. But in terms of City, like maybe Rodri.
Rodri,
maybe.
yeah, Rodri, yeah.
Other than that, like I couldn't really push for any City player either, so I hear it. Like Ollie Watkins is a very good shout. It's just we know what these things are about. They're going to end up being a title race discussion. That's why Palmer has to take everything from an individual perspective to get that.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen on Thursday night. But yeah, right wing, we're going to go for Cole Palmer. Left wing, what are we doing for the left wing? What is it? Mudryk against Werner.
Oh, I thought you were going to put Son there.
Well, Son's been playing as our number 9. I mean, I could,
yeah, so is Werner. Do I have a chance?
I could easily do Son on the left and give you Nick Jackson up top on the 9.
Deal.
Could easily do that.
I was going to take the other one. You put Son up top, Jackson on the left, but deal. That works
Makes
for
more
me.
sense to put Jackson on up front, doesn't it? And
Yeah,
put
'cause
Son on the left.
Jackson's actually done well for his first season in England. It's just he's a striker and his finishing isn't great. But like people used to talk about how Havertz had all the fundamentals last season. I used to say they were talking out their arse. Jackson actually does. Jackson has brilliant hold-up play. Jackson can carry the ball from defence to attack by himself, 1-on-1, 2v1. Jackson has good passing. He just cannot finish. I don't get how you have all that confidence in all those other areas, but when you go 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, you flop.
You sure you don't want to have a Mudryk Werner debate?
What a mid-off, bro. Nah. We'll take Jackson.
What is it with Mudryk? I mean, he seems to have like the lowest IQ of a footballer I've ever seen.
I really don't know, because I want to think a new manager can get more out of him, and in a better structure where he just needs to pick up the ball from this position, get the ball to this position. If he has a very structured idea of how to play the game, you might get something out of him. But your base level is so low. So I don't even know if a new manager could save you. For next season, I think regardless what happens, he needs to go on loan. Like, unless we're in the Conference League. Yeah, he's got to go on loan. He needs regular game time somewhere where the pressure's off him a little bit. He can make mistakes and just try and refine his game a little bit and come back in a year's time. But for now, it's so limited. Like, it's just speed, and he don't even like using his speed. He prefers the ball to feet. He prefers being more of a playmaker, which kind of takes away the physical attributes that you have in your game. So there's a lot to figure out with him. The club's still backing him because, you spent 62 million on him, but that's the only real transfer where I'm looking at it and thinking, well, him and Sanchez, where I'm thinking, what were we thinking? What were we really thinking?
It seemed like with Mudryk, you just wanted to get in there ahead of Arsenal because Arsenal were heavily in for him at the time as well.
But that's why I feel like Arsenal wouldn't be in for him for no reason. But although I say that, they spent 60 million on Havertz unwarranted. So, what am I talking about?
He's doing well for them at the moment.
Yeah, but even then, they still want a striker and a midfielder.
True.
I think with Arsenal and Havertz, they found a system where they just focus on his strengths. And, fair play to him. That's good tactics from the manager. You just focus on getting him in positions where he can head the ball or just link up play a little bit. You keep him as far away from 1v1s as possible. But they're going to get better players than him. And he'll be on the bench next season.
What about Timo Werner? If you're in... Let's say in a hypothetical world, you're a Spurs fan, right? 15 million for Timo Werner is the option at the end of the season. You taking it up?
I mean, if you have better options, I'd take it. I'd only go for Werner if I was you guys, if there's literally nobody else left. But even then, you're filling up a position with someone who's very limited. He's a decent playmaker, awful finisher, awful touch. Loves being offside. And I haven't seen much of a difference from that since he's joined you guys. I think the playmaking might have improved a little bit, or you just focus on it a little bit more.
He's good. Well, he's like a touchline winger for us, so he can beat his man. He's obviously very quick. He can get balls into the box, but you asked him to do that on a consistent basis. You ask him to get anywhere near the goal and finish, and he flops every time. So, my argument for Timo Werner is the only way we should sign Timo Werner if we sign someone else that he can play backup to.
Yeah, that makes sense. What wages is he on?
I don't know. He's only on loan, so I don't know how much we're paying him, to be fair.
I know
I think
with
it's
us, we
around
had him on
100 or something.
Okay, that's not too bad. We had him on about 200 something, I think. So if that was same wages, then nah, get rid of him immediately.
Managers.
Oh, just take it. Just take it, please. Like, even the thought of Pochettino drives me insane.
And
I despise
Postecoglou.
him. Yeah. Like I know you guys have your own issues in terms of structure and the consistent high line and everything, but at least you have a structure. At least you consistently make chances in the game. We don't have nothing. We make it up as we go along. We have a manager who makes excuses every week, doesn't develop anybody, and throws everybody under the bus when we don't get points.
You know what?
We have genuinely one of the worst coaches in the league.
I hate Poch for going to you,
I hate him too.
but I love him, man. I just love him.
You lot are going to be chanting his name on
You know what?
Thursday.
If
and
we
I
go
can't-
1 or 2-0 up at Stamford Bridge on Thursday night and the whole away end is singing that, I mean, I'm going to be there for that.
I expect it. Because he's going to give you some stupidness. First half or second, or maybe for your sake, both. The only reason why we beat you guys was because you went down to 9 men.
Yeah.
And even then, we made it difficult. That 4-1 won't fool me. That's
Eric,
the worst
Dyer,
4-1.
that slither offside, that made it going to make it 2-2.
Yeah, I remember I was laughing at the Tottenham fans in the upper tier. Then I heard them celebrate. I'm like, no way we've conceded already. Off another set piece too. I despise him offside. Thank God.
Let's run through that team again. So it's Vicario in goal, right back Malagusto, left back Destiny Udogie, Van der Ven and Romero centre backs. You got Caicedo in the 6 with Pape Sarr and Maddison in the midfield. You got Cole Palmer on the right, Huminson on the left, and Nicholas Jackson up top. I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah. So
Apart from Pedro Porro for Malagusto, but apart from that, I think it's pretty fair.
I still push for Gusto, but I understand your side.
So that's it. We're going to be doing a match preview. We're also going to be doing a match preview on Carefree Lewis's channel as well. So go check that out. But thanks for coming on today, mate. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.